Yes, please.
Thank you very much. I am Misago Yasui. I'm a member of the House of Councillors, the Japanese Diet. I'm going to use the slides time to time, so I would appreciate if you can look at the screen behind us time to time. I'm very honored to be invited to this important special session to discuss how to advance and develop the Millennium Development Goals. I would like to express my appreciation to all those involved in organizing and hosting this Istanbul summit, in particular the Journalists and Writers Foundation. I would also like to express my sincere condolences to Turkey, the host nation for this summit, regarding the recent coal mine accident at Soma in western Turkey, in which so many were tragically killed and injured. While the MDGs have achieved significant progress in poverty reduction and other development challenges, unfinished business remains and new challenges have emerged. In the post-2015 development agenda, we should focus more on widening domestic disparities and people facing various vulnerabilities. In this context, human security should be a guiding principle of the post-2015 development agenda so that sustainable development can be achieved through the protection and empowerment of individuals. Women are one of the groups that tend to face vulnerabilities. Human security is an effective approach to address the challenges women face. More effort has to be made to achieve the MDG 3, promote gender equality and empower women. It seems that there is already a consensus that gender equality and women's empowerment should be a standalone goal in the post-2015 development agenda. It is also a good sign that there seems to be a consensus that gender should be also mainstreamed in the other development goals, such as poverty eradication, health, and education. As the new development framework should be applicable to all states, Japan also needs to make contributions through its domestic policy. For example, the ratio of female parliamentarians in the Japanese Diet is still low, only approximately 8%. This places Japan at 158th out of 190 countries, and it gives it the disgraceful distinction of being the lowest ranking of the 34 OECD countries. The percentage of women holding management position in the workplace is 11.2%, less than 1/3 of that in Europe and North America. This may sound strange if you think of Japan as third economic power in the world. One of the main reasons often cited as lying behind this is the lack of satisfactory child-rearing assistance such as child care provision. In fact, the number of children aged between 0 and 6 years old on the waiting list for daycare facilities nationwide amounts to more than 22,000. Health is one of Japan's priority areas in the post-2015 development agenda. The current MDGs have 3 health-related goals as shown, but we are lagging behind in the achievement of these goals. From the perspective of human security, health-related goals can be reached through achieving universal health coverage. Since Japan introduced such health coverage in 1961, the mortality rate for infants and young children has decreased dramatically, as well as the mortality rate for women during pregnancy and childbirth, as shown in the slides. Based on Japan's experience, I would like to encourage the spread of universal health coverage around the world. A disaster can wipe out the long-term achievement of development in an instance. Therefore, disaster risk reduction is an important item on the agenda for poverty eradication and sustainable development. However, the current MDGs do not mention disaster risk reduction. The Great East Japan earthquake of 2011 caused unprecedented damages to our country. Thanks to the great outpouring of support we received from around the world, the reconstruction of the disaster-affected areas is proceeding steadily. From the tragedy, we have learned a lot. For instance, in evacuation centers, there was no private changing rooms for women, and women who were pregnant or who had small children experienced a great deal of stress due to trying too hard not to bother clothes around them. Moreover, even when they did try to start to rebuild their lives in the early days following the disaster, the only jobs available in the affected areas involved hard physical labor, and there were no jobs available for women who wanted to find work. In view of the difficult conditions experienced by female victims of the disaster, we renewed our recognition that a gender perspective is needed during emergency response and disaster recovery. In March of next year, the UN's Third World Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction will take place in Sendai, Japan, one of the disaster-affected areas. I hope that many people will participate in this conference in order that we can share our knowledge and experience with a view to reducing disaster risks. We also expect that the disaster risk reduction agenda that is to be adopted at the Sendai conference will be a valuable input to the post-2015 development agenda. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you. Thank you.